Good morning and welcome. My name is Denise Cow. I'm a Creative Memories Advisor in Ormond Beach, Florida, if you've just started following me. And thank you for being here. So today we're on week 28 or project recipe 28 of the 52 weeks of scrapbooking. So let's go check my desk. And this project recipe is from Archivers. This is way back in 2018. This one is up on my Scrapbook with Denise Facebook group if you need a copy. And the instructions are not as clear as we have them right now. And there's a few things here that are kind of a little bit different. I saw not quite on here, but on the way it looks when they put the pages down, you can see here they're not showing these two pictures, or this is a 5x4. Doesn't look like a picture. But we're going to go through this and we'll put this together. So I'm going to use the book because it's a lot more straightforward. We do have the designer paper number 1, and what that is going to be is that's going to be these two pieces here on the outside, right? So it's using Staycation in the book and Archivers in the paper sheet. So A and B are going to be here. Either you can use the tearing tool or you can use one of the blades from the 12-inch trimmer, and we'll talk about that when we get to cutting it. Now paper number 2 is your mats, so you can use cardstock if you would like for that. And then another cardstock that's going to be going across this way, piece I. Piece 2 is all mats. And then you need 2 designer papers for your background. So I am using Vintage Chic. So let's see what I have pulled out. And I actually have some photos today. And the reason I picked Vintage Chic is that somebody in our party has this orange shirt on, which is in the orange and then a lot of blues. And I have a lot of papers here because I know what I want to do for 3, but I don't know what I want to do yet for mats or for the piece I that goes across this way. So let's get started. So what I'm going to use for my background, these are the ones that I'm unsure of which ones I want to use yet for the mats, as well as that piece that goes across this piece I. So I'm going to put those to the side. So the first thing that we're going to do is, let me just take a look at what, and I don't know, I was thinking I wanted them for this on the left hand side and this on the right hand side. I was thinking that. I know definitely that this is going to be my piece that's going to go across here. It's going to be my A and B. And I figured, since I haven't used a tearing tool in a while and my pictures are from over in France, so it could be a little bit more jagged. And again, if you don't have a tearing tool, I have 3 tearing tools. I'm going to use this one. Does it have a name? Jagged. It's called the jagged tearing tool. This one is called the double wave, and this one is the dips and dunes. I think I'm going to use the jagged. Now, how you are going to use that is it is going to leave white on one side. Like when you tear it, you'll see a bit of white. So I want to cut this in half at 6 inches. So I'm just going to, roughly 6 inches, I'm just going to lay it here on my mat. I'm going to line up my tearing tool. And then slowly, you're just going to rip it along the tearing tool. Just keep going all the way. And there we go. That's it. So you could, like I said, use the tearing tool. Let's see if I can show you how that looks. It's not quite as clean as if I used one of the blades, but you could just use one of the blades if you don't have a tearing tool. Just going to put that out of the way for a moment. So the where that these are going to go is A and B, and they will be reversed. So I have my option to go like this, or I could go this way. So that I'm going to decide also. I might leave it that way, but I actually might do this also. because I think I might want the orange on this side. I haven't decided yet. That's what I'm gonna decide as we're cutting and getting pictures done. So that's actually our base page, right? That's A and B. You know, C, D, E, F, G, H are the mats, and I is the cardstock that's going to go across the top. So I have to make that decision pretty soon. So what I was thinking to go across the page was one of these two, and that's why it might be better this way. And I know we spend a lot of time when I'm teaching determining paper, because I can see you doing the same thing. You have an idea in your head of what you want to do, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, wait a minute, that's not working. So I was thinking doing that. I have a mat. Where's my mat? Because I wanted to use this mat on this side, but now I don't have any orange on this side, right? So if I changed it around, then I have orange on both sides. I was thinking of using this aquamarine shimmer as my cardstock. I also had this paper too, but I think it's the same pattern kind of as this one. I just didn't want to bring in another pattern. It's like pattern and pattern and pattern. So let's use this one for I. So it's going to be 5.5 by 12. So let's get that cut. And we'll cut this one at 5.5. Always make sure it's flat. Okay, so this one is extra. And it will go across here. It looks like it's about an inch from the top. If you look like it, it's about an inch. And then this mat goes here. And then there's another photo that's not matte, and this one's not cut yet, that will go up here. And see, there's where I've got some orange that I'm bringing in. Now, I'm going to put down all the photos, and then we're going to determine what color mats we want. You can see here, they've added another border here in this one. Let me check the paper copy. And they did add one here also. Right here, a border. So I'm going to have to see. This set didn't come with any borders, so we'll have to think about that. So some of the pictures that I have cut. So this takes, and they'll all be matted. This will be a 3.5 by 3. There will be 3 4 by 3 photos here. Again, they'll be matted. We will have some kind of a border here, which I'll get to. I either have that photo or this one. And actually, I think I'm going to put this one here. And again, like I said, I need to trim it because it's supposed to be 5 by 4 so that it would be like that. And even I don't know that person, we might cut them out. So that... And then we have, it's supposed to be 2 3 by 5s. I have 2 3 by 4s, which is I want some journaling. And then I did have a couple extra ones if I wanted to put like these two maybe down here. I have this one still I might want to use. But see, so I have the oranges in the color. I have the oranges here, the blues. So that works good. I like this. So now I have to think about what do I want to do for mats. And here were my options that I thought, and I might not even pick any of them. I'm thinking that this is too much orange to have orange underneath every one of those pictures. As you see in the project recipe, every single one of these is matted, except for this one. So I think that's a little too much. This is Copper Canyon, and I don't know, I found this shimmer. It's not gold. It must have been out of a special bundle. I'm actually liking this one. So I'm thinking I'm going to cut the mats this color. And you know, if I cut them and I don't like them, I can use it on a different layout. So let's cut these mats. These two pictures do not need 3.5 by 5.5 inch mats, because these pictures are only 3 by 4. So we could go 3.5 by 4.5 if I want to have 1/2 inch ones. Make sure this one is 3.5 by 3.5. It is. So since these are 3 by 4, I'm going to go 3.5 by 4 for that first one. And let's just see. I'm going to cut 2 and then let's see if this really does go with this paper. I'm going to go 3.5. I'm going to go by 4.5 by 4.5. And let's see. Oh, actually, I think it'll work good. I mean, we all have our own ideas of thinking if it's going to work or not. Let's just check these ones. Yep, I think that'll be fine. Okay, so now let's go finish cutting the rest. These are 3x4s, so I'm going to cut E, F, G, and this is a 3.5 by 3.5. So I'm going to cut all of these mats the same, and that gives me some more paper that I can mat more. So this is going to be 4.5, and we're going to go by 3.5. So again, I'm using, that's 2.5, 4.5 by 3.5. I'm using Vintage Chic. I haven't used a lot of it. I did do the project recipe with it, but I haven't used it yet again. So I wanted to use it for this one because I think it goes with, you know, the Mediterranean vibes. We were in the Med on this. We were in Frejus. So let us see. And I think it's close enough to this color. So we have that one. And it's a little bit of shimmer, and I'm going to add some journaling on the bottom. So maybe I could have cut those mats bigger and put the journaling box right onto the mat instead of putting it underneath. That's an option. So my other mats. Okay, let's get our other mat. I lost it. It was stuck on top of the trimmer. Okay, so this one will have to be cut down. So I do have the option of putting these two down here. I'll look at the project recipe in 1 minute to see what they've done on that. I do need to add this. This is a house my husband thought he was going to buy while we were there and fix it up and go, you know, live their vacation here. So I think I like that. So I need to go and look at another one of the, like a matching bundle that maybe I can find a border sticker to go along there. But I do think I like that. If I think this is too much orange, there are other mats in the mat pack. Sorry, I'm just going to see if I can get that. I could also put like Frejus where we were, but I haven't labeled. I have a different way I'm doing my titles for this book, but I could use these also. Okay, so I was going to look to see, you know, if that orange is a little bit too orange for that, to see what else we had. You know, that tones it down a bit. This one actually is nice too, because I could put, it's probably meant to go this way so you could journal that way, but I do like, let's just put, I just like the colors of that. It tones it down a little bit, whereas this kind of was a little stark. This kind of tones it down and brings it all more neutral with just a little bit of the orange and a little bit of the blue. So I'm seeing what else we have here in the matte pack. That's definitely too dark. This one may actually be good also. It's just a little bit of that orange in there. Tones it down a bit. So I'm going to go look for a border for here. Oh, even that. But remember when this didn't go. I thought that one, Moments to Remember, kind of really went with what was happening there, but it might be too bright. I'll think about that. I'm going to go look for something for a border here. Okay, you can see I found a couple things. This embellishment is from Legacy of Love, and I actually think I like it because it really pops out. I found these little envelopes that are in the whichever one this one is, now that I can't remember because I have so much stuff on the desk. Vintage Chic. So we could use those because if we look back here, they have this. I'm going to put some titles in here. They do have some embellishments on this side, but it's pretty open, right? It's pretty open. And then they have the matte. So if we tone this down, just keep toning it down. I knew I have to cut that underneath piece. We could use these two. Just can't cut them off. And this is both the church. So that's the tree. I should have outlined. I don't know if you saw this. So this is the tree. This explains this olive tree. So I took the little picture of the olive tree and posted it. I probably should have did a white border on it, and then it would have jumped out more. So I think I'm liking that. I have a little bit of the blue tones. I have a little bit of the oranges. I think I like whichever color of shimmer this is. So maybe it's a deep gold. And then the brown kind of pops it out. Don't know. I'll see if I have some brown. Well, I have some brown up here, not quite as dark. But so that is Project Recipe 18, either Staycation or archivers that you can get from my Scrapbook with Denise Facebook group. I would love to see your pages, and if you use the tearing tool, let me know. Make sure you post it on my Scrapbook with Denise Facebook group. And thanks for joining me today. Don't forget, like, subscribe, refer your friends, and we'll talk to you all again soon. Happy scrapping. Bye for now.